Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm Ron Mackenzie LaFergie. It seems you guys love your Iron Man suits, and as luck would have it, there are more to talk about. Now, of course, we're at part 3, so if you want to see some of the cooler suits, feel free to go check out parts 1 and 2. But hey, some of the less popular suits need some love too. So buckle up, it's time for the Top 10 Iron Man suits, part 3. Number 10. Mark 1, the OG. Objectively, this is probably the worst of the armors, which is kind of understandable since it was built secretly in a cave and he'd never done it before. That said, this was the armor that started it all and allowed Tony to escape from his captors and return to the United States. This was pretty similar to the movie, with the big bulky suit that increased his strength, had a flamethrower and boot jets. He also had cluster bombs and a unibeam in his chest. While this certainly isn't the look most people associate with Iron Man, and it's the lamest looking of his suits, it's still an important part of Iron Man's history. Number 9. Mark 6, Hydro Armor. This armor was built to let Tony go deeper into the ocean for longer amounts of time than his other suits, and it certainly served that purpose. It had modified repulsors and boot jets for underwater combat and travel, it shot mini torpedoes, was able to electrify itself, it had enhanced life support for the increased pressure, and could even release black ink clouds like an octopus. The only problem I have with it is the helmet. Why did it have to be just that clear bubble? It seems like the artist wanted to make absolutely clear that it was a scuba suit, but come on, it's Iron Man. Don't just shove a diving helmet over a normal helmet and call it a day. Have some panache. Number 8. Mark 30, Battle Argonaut Armor. We didn't get to see a whole bunch of this armor, but it's pretty nifty. First of all, as I've said countless times on these lists, just look at it. It looks totally bomb. That suit is whack. I'm jelly of its aesthetics. It's so hard not to call it cool, but y'all complain when I say cool too much, so there you go. What's neat about this armor is that it was made of carbon nanotubes and ceramics reinforced with adamantium, so it was pretty darn close to indestructible. Sadly, it was destroyed by the subterranean Argonaut's anti-metal, but it was pretty sick while it lasted. Number 7. Mark 26, Anti-Radiation Armor. This armor utilized a unique compound called RG27, which had the ability to neutralize gamma radiation, absorbing it into the suit and converting it into power. This allowed the suit to enter irradiated areas and even clear them of radiation. While it is rather specialized and not as useful in most circumstances, it would be highly effective against villains like Red Hulk, who depend on radiation to feed their power. And as always, it looks pretty wicked. Number 6. Mark 40, Anti-TITANOMECH Armor. This suit was built by Tony in secret while he was the captive of the Mandarin. He was being forced to build Titanomechs for the Mandarin alongside a number of other captive villains, including Zeke Stain. This suit was designed to be highly durable, to be able to survive the assault of the Mandarin and his Titanomech machines. It looks quite eclectic since it was built using scavenged parts, but it was not without its benefits. It was able to interface with the Swarm, a bunch of tiny repulsor-powered computers that Tony used to create a giant awesome cannon. Not bad for an improvised suit. Number 5. Mark 42, Repulsor Core Armor. I mentioned this armor in a previous video as it's the one that Tony controlled remotely while he was out in space with the Guardians of the Galaxy. This armor remained on Earth to defend the planet in Tony's absence, controlled by the Stark Omniversal multitasking software. It was powered by several repulsor tech cores, as you can see throughout the suit, and was highly modifiable, similar to the Mark 41. Not too shabby. Number 4. Mark 15, Spiky Armor. Okay, the name is a work in progress, but the armor is pretty great. While under the influence of Kang, who is actually Immortus, Tony busted out a suit that is basically just a cooler, slightly more evil looking suit with spikes on it. It was souped up with wide angle repulsors, allowing him to fire them across a larger surface, as well as a number of other weapons like heat beams, cryonics, and even acid. The suit could even heat up to melt enemy weapons. But really, it was changed mostly to look scarier. And as far as I'm concerned, it worked. I wouldn't mess with him. Number 3. Mark 48. Iron Armor. Finally, an armor that actually makes Iron Man an accurate name. This suit was literally made of iron and was used by Tony when fighting the Dark Elves on Svartalfheim. Yeah, there's no way I said that right. Anyway, this armor is super cool looking and is actually worn on top of other armors, making it rather useful. But it's particularly useful against Dark Elves like Malekith since they're weak to iron, thus allowing Tony to take them on while being protected from their magic. Pretty useful and really awesome looking. Number 2. Mark 7, Stealth Armor. Now, I've already talked about one version of the stealth armor in part 1, but I think Tony's Mark 7 stealth armor deserves a place on this list too, mostly because it's so sexy. I've always been partial to black armor, and the all black look is fierce as all hell. It was also his first attempt at making a stealth focused suit, allowing him to infiltrate various locations without being detected. This suit's more fragile and less compact than other suits, but has a number of cool stealth gadgets including radar absorbing coating, electronic countermeasure jamming, and could distort radar and sonar signals. So cool. Number 1. Mark 52, the car suit. The title says it all on this one. This suit can transform into a pretty sweet car, and that alone makes it amazing. Transformers meets Iron Man is a movie I didn't realize I needed in my life until this moment. Guess it's time for Michael Bay to crap out another one. This isn't exactly the most impressive feat Tony's suits have done, but the image of the car turning into an enormous power suit is so damn sick. I'm not sure what else to say about it. It's a car that turns into an Iron Man suit. What's not to like? That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please smack that thumbs up button and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for more videos. Which of these suits would you most like to have? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, until next time, I'm Ron McKenzie LaFergie with Top 10 Nerd. Later, nerds.